Hi folks, this is Kyle Blankenship. I'm the Copper's Cove editor with the Killeen Daily Herald newspaper. Today I'll be interviewing Chuck Taylor, who is running for the Place 3 seat on the Copper's Cove City Council. First question is, what is your professional and or government history, and how does that experience make you uniquely qualified to be a council member in Cove?
Well, I've spent 50 years in radio, 20 of those in the news department, and I covered a lot of political events. As I got older, I was living in San Diego and working for a station there, and it came to me that I had been watching politics for years. I'd like to jump in. So first I ran for school board, and I won, and found out that the school board is a very difficult job. You can't please anyone. Parents are unhappy, children are unhappy, teachers are unhappy, and in California, where I was, we were also battling 3 unions constantly. So it was tough. My biggest accomplishment as a school board member, which I'm very proud of, is California has a very liberal sex education policy. They're teaching children things that should be taught at home, I believe. And parents were getting upset. I was able to change that into an opt-in instead of an opt-out, so that the parents were aware of what was going on before it happened. So I was proud of that. I ran for planning department. The planning department is different than it is here. It is a elected position, and basically we control building, how things look, zoning, signage, and so on and so forth. Another job that's fairly thankless in that the builders don't like you. Quite often the citizens don't like you. What you have to do is watch for growth, but controlled growth. That's basically my experience in government and how I got to the point that I got to.
What are the top 3 issues that you have identified in Cove, and how will you address those issues as a council member over the next 3 years?
Well, the top 3, first of all, let me say that I will address them, but I'm one of 6 if I do win, and all I can do is spur it along. I think the first problem that I see in Cove is traffic congestion, stoplights. We have horribly untimed stoplights. You cover that area, don't you? Mm-hmm. You're aware then if you come out on Constitution or you come out on Robert Griffin, sometimes you can eat lunch waiting for the light to turn, even though there's no traffic coming. And they need to do something about that. Secondly, once again based on congestion, we need to get someone, possibly a Walmart, to open up a smaller store on the west end of town. First of all, it would help the residents too. It would cut down on the congestion that we have up there between HEB and Walmart. Thirdly, we really need to work on our streets and roads. They really need some upgrade, some paving. Have you driven down Constitution Court lately? Mm-hmm. It's tough. Mm. And you said 3, but I want to add one more. We need to do more for our kids. We need to really upgrade our sports venues and parks.
Mm-hmm. The City of Cove has had recent issues identifying new streams of revenue and expanding new business in the city. What should the city and the City Council do to boost tax revenue and court more business?
We have a slogan in the city. It's called "The City Built for Family Living." We need to do more to live up to that. That's number one. We need, I sort of have to digress, we need to pass the proposition for liquor. I'm not a drinker personally. I have nothing against it, but that will bring a tremendous amount of revenue in we don't have. Secondly, it will bring in restaurants we can sit down and eat in. I think the Cove is the fast food capital of the world. So that's one area. Another area would be, if indeed we are able to improve our city, there'll be more homes built. Mm-hmm. More homes mean more tax revenue, would not necessarily a lot more infrastructure cost. So I think those are things we have to look at, particularly this liquor petition. Mm-hmm. I think it really is a salvation for the city.
Mm-hmm. I'll just go ahead and skip question 4 on the liquor proposition. Let's go to 5 here. Cove is known as a veteran-friendly city, mainly due to the city's ongoing relationship with Fort Hood. In light of issues nationally in providing adequate resources and support for veterans, how would you like the city improve its relationship with veterans in Cove?
I think the city does a pretty good job right now. I think that we basically need the veterans feel like Copper's Cove is home. If you take a look at Coryell County in general, Copper's Cove is twice the size of Gatesville. Mm-hmm. Cove has 1/3 the voters of Gatesville. To me, that indicates disinterest, not feeling attached to the town. I think we need to do more community outreach through the city and the council, talking to veterans about what are they looking for, what they like, what they don't like. I would like to see newspaper surveys maybe once a quarter where people can basically fill in what they're looking at, what they're not. Because as you probably know, in a city council meeting, unless someone's really upset, the council meetings are pretty empty.